When London burned, it wasn't fire that lit up the night, it was power. The city has always had two faces, one polished in royalty and respectability, and one dripping with greed, loyalty, and blood. Behind the polished stone of Westminster and the flashing lights of Piccadilly, a darker empire was rising, one ruled not by kings or lords, but by men and women who ran London's streets through fear and profit. This is the story of the British gang wars you've never heard of, the ones that shaped the underworld long before the Krays made the tabloids, the ones that built London's reputation as a city where violence could be dressed in a suit. In the 1920s, London was a city of shadows. The Great War had ended, but the peace that followed was an illusion. Unemployment, poverty, and the spread of illegal trades, liquor, gambling, protection, all fed a new kind of criminal network. In the East End, they called them the Sabini gang. Led by Charles Darby Sabini, an Italian-born bookmaker turned crime boss, his men controlled the racecourse rackets across England. Their business model was simple: intimidation, control, and respect bought with fear. The Sabinis ruled the tracks, from Epsom to Brighton, squeezing bookmakers for cash and cutting down anyone who refused. But in every empire, there's always another family waiting to take the throne. The MacDonald brothers, the Elephant and Castle mob, and the Billy Kimber outfit were just as ruthless. Their wars with the Sabinis weren't fought in alleys. They happened in daylight, among crowds of thousands. Brass knuckles, razors, and hidden pistols. And when the police came, everyone went silent. Loyalty wasn't a choice, it was survival. By the 1930s, London was divided by invisible borders, each neighborhood controlled by a different mob. North London belonged to the Italians, the East End to the Jewish gangs, and South London, that was where the women ruled. Alice Diamond and the 40 Elephants, Britain's all-female crime syndicate. Elegant, disciplined, and absolutely merciless. They ran the luxury shoplifting rings of London's West End, traveling in packs, dressed like aristocrats, and leaving stores stripped bare before the owners even realized what had happened. When the men went to war, the women built their own empire, one that outlasted many of their rivals. And then came the fire. The Second World War didn't destroy organized crime in London, it perfected it. The Blitz gave criminals cover. Bombed-out streets meant fewer witnesses, fewer patrols, and new black markets for everything, from ration coupons to American cigarettes. Former dock workers became smugglers. Soldiers returning from the front joined the rackets. London wasn't rebuilding, it was reorganizing. The men who had once fought on the same side of the Channel now fought each other over the spoils of a ruined city. In the 1950s, as London dressed itself in post-war optimism, the underworld dressed better too. Suits replaced suspenders, and crime became corporate. The West End boys and South London firms started using nightclubs as fronts, mixing celebrities with crooks, champagne with extortion. The police called it the new face of organized crime, but it wasn't new at all. It was evolution. A more sophisticated, more patient kind of violence, the kind that smiled while it robbed you blind. Then came the Kray twins, the storm that blew the lid off everything. Reggie and Ronnie Kray didn't invent London's underworld, they inherited it. They took the lessons of the Sabinis, the 40 Elephants, the post-war rackets, and turned them into theater. Gangsterism became culture. The Krays made violence fashionable. They posed with movie stars, politicians, even royalty. But what they really did was expose the truth London had been hiding for a century, that crime and respectability often share the same dinner table. But here's the part you won't find in the papers. When the Krays went down, London didn't become cleaner. It just went quieter. The old families didn't vanish, they adapted. The East End became real estate. Protection rackets turned into security companies. Smugglers became import-export businesses. And the code, loyalty, silence, family, never disappeared. It simply changed its language. Today, when you walk through Shoreditch or Soho, you're walking on history. Every pub, every alley, every club has ghosts. Deals made in whispers, blood spilled over pride. London may look civilized now, but the pulse underneath is the same. Money, power, control. Some say the modern criminals wear suits and work in offices, that the City of London itself is just another racket, playing with billions instead of betting slips. Maybe they're right, because if history has taught us anything, it's that London's fires never truly die. They just burn underground. Every time the city rebuilds, it buries a little more of its truth. But the cracks are still there, in the bricks, in the names, in the families who never left. The ghosts of the Sabinis, the Krays, the 40 elephants, they're still walking those streets, reminding us that civilization is only skin deep. The British mob wasn't born from greed alone. It was born from survival, from poverty, from pride. It was London's dark twin, the reflection in the smoke. When London burned, it wasn't just the buildings that turned to ash. It was innocence. And from those ashes rose something eternal. A city that never stops rebuilding, and a criminal empire that never really died. Because in London, history doesn't fade. It hides.